Hey Aquarius, this is Michael with your general reading for October 2020. Hello and welcome, whether you are an Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or someone cross-watching for an Aquarius individual. I do hope that this finds you well. I know that the month of October has some pretty crazy energy, just looking at the astrology and kind of tuning into it myself. I am really curious to see how this all plays out into your own life. The astrology blog isn't complete yet, but I do have the list of all the aspects and transits for the month available down below, and I should be finished up with that blog in a couple of days. I have it mostly done, or half done, and I just have to make some final touches and some edits, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I will be referencing the astrology throughout your reading as well. There we go. I also have links down below for personal readings and Reiki sessions for those of you who feel like they want some personalized assistance or guidance in their own life, or maybe just a bit of an energy boost to move through this crazy time that we find ourselves in. So let's see, what are the messages we have for Aquarius? The cards are being pretty quiet for you so far. See. Wow, okay, so right away we have the Lovers in the reverse. With the Eight of Cups, or Eight of Chalices here. So right away, I feel like a lot of you are moving on from some heartache. And there could be a breakup that happened, or some conflict that you are distancing yourself from in a relationship that means a lot to you. This could also be another situation that you were committed to, and you're now walking away or trying to figure out what else am I supposed to do here. Because this Lovers card is showing up in kind of your day-to-day overall energy for the first half of October here. And so it might not necessarily be a relationship, although I get the sense for a lot of you it actually is. And there's this challenge with moving on, or figuring out where you're supposed to go next. And when I look at this art here, it's like you're on this island, and the place where you want to be is blocked, or feels inaccessible to you right now. You might be waiting for the tides to change. Or you might be trying to just swim through the currents with the Chariot here. We do have Cancer energy with the Chariot card. And we do have Gemini energy with the Lovers card. So these could be signs that you are dealing with, or someone who has a lot of those energy, or energies. And could even be a Gemini Cancer cusp. And Aquarius, I really feel like you genuinely are trying to figure out how to go forward from here. What next? How do I move on? And this heartache doesn't necessarily need to be recent either, but it's coming up a lot for you. And, you know, Mercury retrograde, which technically is happening towards the middle of the month on the 14th, it is notorious for bringing up past relationships, whether that actually brings in someone from the past that we haven't seen in a while, or it's us thinking a lot and reflecting a lot about the past. Maybe some situations come up that kind of trigger us. So whichever this is, I feel like you really are trying to move forward. And I feel like you actually do have your eyes set on something in specific, or you're trying to figure out what to move towards. Let's actually clarify this Chariot energy before we get any further. King of Coins. So this is the King of Pentacles. We could also be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. But honestly, Aquarius, this feels like you're really focused on your own stability and creating something for yourself or for the people you care about. And when I see this rabbit here, there is a lot of fertility, there is a lot of potential for a new start. Interesting, this castle is the same exact castle. Maybe this is just the art for the cards, but I'm being drawn. This could be a home situation for some of you too. Maybe you're moving. And obviously this is a general reading, so this message is probably only for a few of you, but I can't help but wonder if you're like in a situation where you broke up with someone and now you're in the process of moving out, like you're still living together. And I get the sense of a move, which is always interesting during a time of a pandemic, right? With all these travel restrictions and challenges thrown on top of something that's already so challenging or difficult. Let's pull an animal card and get some advice here. Bee. Yeah, you are working very hard on something here. Busy bee. Could be, again, working with family or working for your family, doing something to help your family. I could actually see that with kind of the hive or whoever that is to you spiritually. It doesn't necessarily need to be a birth family or your, childhood family or anything like that. I just see you working very hard, and honestly, Aquarius, I'm kind of getting this energy of you sort of trying to bury yourself in something else to outrun or distract yourself from this painful situation. Interesting. And we did have a full moon yesterday, October 1st, in Aries, which for you is your third house, your tribe, your village, your people, your local community. There could be that conflict there, or that's who you're trying to work for. Are some of you doing activist work, I wonder? Interesting. Alright. So looking at the second half of October, I do feel like things are going to be taking a pause, but I actually think that this is a good thing for you, Aquarius. And you might be resisting this, but I think it's kind of what you need. We have the Hierophant and the Hermit coming out together, and this almost makes me think that there is actually an earth sign in your life who is trying to help you. This could be that Virgo or Taurus we were talking about before. There's actually a lot of Taurus energy because we also have the Empress here as well. But I feel like what this person is trying to do is help you reconnect with yourself. And for some of you, you're just doing this on your own. You're not going to anyone, there's no one really helping you. You could just be listening to somebody online, something like that as well. And it feels very specifically like spiritual guidance. Some of you are tuning into or tapping into some sort of spiritual guide or mentor. And there's just so much emphasis in your spirituality right now because your 12th house is being very intensely activated. Saturn just went direct in Capricorn last month on the 29th, and Pluto is going direct on the 4th. And so there's some really radical spiritual transformations that are happening, some changes in your subconscious belief system. That's going to require a lot of meditation and mindfulness to do with the Hermit here. Some of you could even be talking to a therapist or someone like that as well. And why I actually really like this is I feel like your heart is opening again with this Empress. And the month of October, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't necessarily feel like you're stepping fully into this Empress energy this month, but you're moving into it. You're getting back in touch with this loving part of yourself, this part of you that nurtures and wants to be nurtured. It's open to love. And you could be working on some sort of project for a while. With this King of Coins that we pulled earlier, and you might be getting some advice on that. And Aquarius, if you are working on any sort of project, I feel like this is actually going to lead to some long-term abundance for you and success with the Empress. You're feeling pretty good about it, or it's looking pretty good. Again, there could be some delays or setbacks with the Two of Swords. And there really is this need to kind of reflect, introspect, meditate. Don't rush to make a decision. Things seem like they're kind of slowing down towards the end of October, at least in your own personal life, or there's a lot of uncertainty. You might also be seeing the ways that you're holding yourself back, and how you're keeping yourself guarded here, especially if there is an earth sign in the picture now. Let's pull one more animal card here. Let's get a little more advice for you. Okay, interesting. Two cards pop out here. Sea Serpent. This actually really reminds me of this Empress card here, because the Sea Serpent presides over the Sacral chakra, or the Svadhisthana chakra, the sacral. And this is all about pleasure, this chakra, and the senses, and being open to love and nurture, as well as giving that and feeling like it's safe to do that. Some of you are creating something. And you know, the word fertility came up earlier. It's kind of coming up again with the Empress card and the Sea Serpent. So there might be children involved in this situation. Some of you might even be pregnant. Some of you could also be thinking about children and trying to figure out how to do that in your life, or if it's the right time, or how you can kind of prepare yourself for that. And I think there's a lot of healing. And again, obviously a general reading, not going to be a message for all of you. Doesn't mean that there aren't messages here for you, but you're trying to figure out what you can create. And there is a bat card here as well, which does signify endings, actually, and letting things go. It's almost like the darkness before dawn sort of energy. And really tapping into your intuition in this darkness with this sort of echolocation of yours. You might not necessarily see things clearly, but you can almost feel the vibration. Yeah, some of you really do need to meditate, specifically like a Vipassana meditation or some sort of body-based meditation where you can feel vibration. I think that's going to be really important for you. Something that also kind of comes to mind, there could be relationships or situations that you've been very afraid to let go of. And in doing that, you are either blocking new relationships or new abundance from coming in. And the bat is kind of telling me that it's time to let things go. And I'm specifically thinking of the Taurus full moon on Halloween. So October 31st, Samhain, where the veil is the thinnest. There could actually be some connection from the other side as well, because bat is often considered a messenger of death or communicating with death. There could be an earth sign who has passed on who you're really connecting with. Or perhaps even someone who is a loved one, with the Lovers in reverse here. But there is this new life for you. I really feel that. And with this Taurus full moon, where does that fall for you specifically? Sorry, I feel like I'm doing math half the time here. What is that for you? So, Taurus new moon. Is that your 4th house? Hold on. It is your 4th house. So there is this thing with a change in home. Or home life, domestic life. Again, talking about children, having children. Or your family. These are themes that are really coming up for you, and perhaps your upbringing is also affecting your relationships as well, and letting go of the ways that you are reincarnating unhappy or unhealthy dynamics in your personal relationships now. I feel like specifically a lot of you are healing maternal wounds from your mother's side, or matrilineal side. And trauma does pass down through generations, and we adopt behaviors and coping mechanisms that we don't even know where they come from. But it's just been conditioned into kind of the culture of our families, and you might be seeing some of that as well. A lot of the time, actually, when we are working on that sort of ancestral trauma, or that sort of lineage trauma, we do actually interact with our ancestors on the spiritual side, because they are trying to help complete a cycle that they could not. So that there could be spirit guides for you who are deceased loved ones, or even ancestors you've never even met. So if you're feeling a presence around you, or you're working on issues that you are having a hard time resolving in yourself, ask your ancestors for help here. That's coming in really specifically. I will be curious to hear about that in the comment section down below. These are all the messages I have for you right now, Aquarius. I do hope that this video was helpful for you. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Again, all of my links are down below if you would like a personal reading or Reiki session. I also have all of my social media accounts I do think I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon. We are getting close to 50,000 subscribers, so hint hint nudge nudge. I usually do some giveaways and sales around those milestones, so might be something to keep on your radar. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Aquarius.